Yo, what is going on, people? Welcome to Throwdown Your Questions, episode 337. I'm your host, Tony Polanco, and tonight I'm joined by Emilio Lopez.
Sup, people? How's it going?
Chris Seeley.
Hey, what's up, everyone?
Carlos Romero.
Yo, yo, yo.
And Brian Manjoma.
We're up.
All right, we don't know what's going to happen with Adam. He was here, and then his PC just stopped working.
He's been having some serious technical issues today. So
so something about overheating, and he doesn't understand what's causing the issue. So who knows? And Brett of the Wild Man, he gets here when he gets here. I still need to do a couple of things here, but before we start, I want to give a huge shout out to our buddy Paul Perez. Manny was recently on his podcast, the Improve and Have Fun podcast. I heard it. Very enlightening show. You talk about the comics industry and a bunch of other cool things. So tell us about that experience.
Oh yeah, it was. He's been actually trying to get in touch with me for quite a while. I'm not too big on my DMs on Twitter, and you had said, oh yeah, he contacted me, and I was on a show. I'm like, oh okay. So then I contacted him, and we set that stuff up, and I just he's actually a fan from Gamertag. Who's kind of he came over when we found out about our podcast from you being on Danny and Paris's show. So he just wanted to. He found out that I worked in comics and I work in art and I do all this different stuff, and he just wanted to talk to me about that sort of thing, and as well also the video game sort of stuff too. So it was a great little interview I did with him. It's actually a lot longer than what he actually posted. There's a lot, but he did some really great edits on it and stuff like that. So sort of because we were sort of, one thing led to another, and things jumped around. So he sort of kind of put a little more structure to it, connected things together again, which was really
wow, I didn't even notice that. It seemed like it was just one.
Oh yeah, there's a couple because like sometimes what we would happen was like he would talk about the art stuff, and then I would sort of go into another direction, but then there would be a non sequitur question that was asking about gaming that was not connected, and so he sort of configured things around so that they all sort of follow a consistent cycle. One thing leads to the other, as opposed to like So, but
that's interesting because I think I did about an hour with. Actually, I don't know. I got to look at because I think I may have talked to him a little bit longer than it was, but it wasn't like when I did it was an hour show. But this is me. Like I try to make sure things were on a line, but he may have cut some stuff. But again, I didn't even notice that. I was like, this shit was. I was like, because I remember you said you were there for like an hour and a half. I was like, wow, only 30 minutes, and it was just flawless. So shout out to his editing skills. I couldn't even tell.
He did really great work on there. My only slight issue was it's just the sound, and that's just running through Skype. Skype just runs sound like crappy. Yeah. So that was my biggest issue. But other than that, it was good stuff, and it was great to talk to him. He's got an interesting thing going on where he's sort of exploring his self kind of with his YouTube.
He's trying to find what he's trying to do, which is that is interesting because most people usually go in kind of focus on something. He's just trying to figure it out, which is kind of cool.
Yeah. I mean, he seems like a bit of a jack of all trades who sort of has a lot of interest in a lot of different things, and he's just sort of sharing his passion with people on his YouTube and his little podcast.
Yeah, good stuff, man. All right, without further ado, let's get into it, man. So this is the first. Ooh, I got some graphics. This is the first of our E3 streams. Pop this up on screen here. So
look at that beautiful bean footage.
Yeah, look at the beautiful bean footage. So I'm going to read this for the guys who are listening. I was going to say at home. Everybody's listening at home and watching at home. So right now you're listening to Throwdown Your Questions, episode 337. This is officially the pre-E3 special, right? The next thing we're going to do is Throwdown, right? Normal Throwdown. That's episode 338. That's going to be the pre-E3 special, where we're pretty much going to go over what we think the company's going to show, our predictions, some of our desires, see what we want. There's also going to be something else that's not E3 related coming up on Thursday, but we're not going to say anything about that in a moment. Saturday, we're going to stream our live reactions to Ubisoft Forward. That's going to be at 3 p.m. Eastern. Sunday, this is the busy show. Sunday, June 13th. At 1 p.m., we're going to do Xbox and Bethesda Game Showcase. Live reactions to that. That's 1 p.m. Eastern. After that, at 3:15 p.m. Eastern, we're going to do Square Enix Presents live reactions. And we're going to top that off with Throwdown Your Questions, episode 338, the E3 specials. Not a post-E3, not a pre-E3, just E3, because it's right in the middle of E3, you know? So we'll take all your E3 questions at that time. Then, following up on Tuesday, June 15th, Nintendo Direct live reactions. Going to be very interesting there, the Treehouse.
Very interesting.
Yeah,
Very interesting indeed.
12 p.m., right? Then follow that up with Throwdown, episode 339, the post E3 special. And we're going to top it all off on Sunday, June 20th, with Throwdown Your Questions, episode 339, the post E3 special. So lots of stuff coming for you, and that's just for the immediate future. We will have more things along the way, because we also have Summer Game Fest to contend with. Although we're just going to say now we are not going to live stream our reactions to the 2-hour show that Jeff Keighley's going to be doing. We're going to talk about it, obviously, that night. You know, Capcom show. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that's going to be enough to cover, to be honest. Here's the thing: anything we don't give our live reactions to, we will cover during the week on the podcast. So don't worry about that. You know.
By the way, shout out to John Christ, who subscribed for 8 months. He said, "Yo,
shout out!
I know
Thanks,
I missed a few months. Life happens, but 8 months. Thanks, man.
No, I appreciate that, man. Really do. So yeah, you know, if you guys didn't see any of our, you know, if you didn't see the PC gaming show or something, we will be talking about it. We're going to cover everything. Don't worry about it.
You know, Brian's going to talk about Devolver Digital show.
Yeah, you know, we're going to cover everything. But we're going to cover the big ones, you know. And obviously, we only have so much time in the day, you know.
I tell you one thing, you know, it's definitely, you know, like at least with the Devolver Digital stuff, it's always going to be an entertaining show. That's at least one thing you know about it.
Oh yeah, for sure. It may not make any sense, but it will be there for sure. All right. Without further ado, by the way, I want to give a shout out to the fans. You guys gave us a lot of E3 questions.
Oh yeah, so, you know, y'all been waiting. You've been waiting for this.
Yeah, you've been waiting, man, waiting. So for the sake of time, we will not answer any non-E3 questions, but I have them in our leftover file, and we will answer them in the future because we want to focus on E3. And again, we got a lot. So shout out to everybody, man. As a matter of fact, we have so many questions that Carlos and I had to sponsor some of them, you know, because we don't want any question left behind, you know.
Oh, yeah.
So pretty cool stuff, man. Let's get into it. First question of the night. Why is this thing all fucked up? Give me a second here. God damn it. My Chiron is all messed up. There we go. Nice and centered. This one is from Dumeke, who's joining us in the chat.
What's up, Dumeke?
Oh, boy. Slightly controversial here. From the jump, controversy. All right. With Microsoft and Bethesda, or Xbox and Bethesda, sharing the E3 stage this year, do you think this means Xbox is relying heavily on Bethesda to fill their gaping holes in game releases this year, or do you think we will also see the other studios showing and releasing games this year alongside Craig's game? So yeah, do you think Bethesda's going to do heavy lifting? I think they're going to do a lot of lifting. I don't know about the heaviest of lifting, but they're going to do like half the lifting, I think, you know, because it is half their show.
Yeah, I definitely think they're gonna have quite a bit to show. And then again, Microsoft again has all these studios that they picked up, so I'm like, they're probably gonna be we're probably gonna actually see what a lot of these things are, what they've actually been working on for all this time.
Yeah, so yeah, that's my stance. I don't think it's gonna be like heavy. I think it's gonna be equal opportunity or whatever. Like it's gonna be both of them, because Microsoft Studios, they're gonna have some stuff to show as well. You know, we'll get more into like what we think they're gonna show in probably a later question. But yeah, what do you say, Chris? You think Bethesda's gonna do heavy lifting?
Well, I agree on the half and half, because that's the biggest studio besides Microsoft's exclusive stuff like 343 and Coalition. That's the biggest thing. The biggest guns they have is coming from Bethesda. They've acquired a lot of studios, but they're not coming out with the giant, well-known stuff like Elder Scrolls and Fallout or Doom, and that's something that they now have under their umbrella. And Starfield is like probably going going to be one of the most anticipated things. I guarantee they're going to tease it there. So that's why it's really split between them, right? The other big offering is going to be, hey, here we fixed Halo Infinite, right? And that's going to be the other draw. But the other half of it is going to be them talking about Elder Scrolls, Avowed, and Starfield. So yeah, it's the other half of that equation. It's the biggest gun they have besides their exclusives.
Yeah, and like I said on the last show, I think the show's going to start off with Halo and end with Starfield. So
yeah,
huge.
I agree. I think that yeah, they definitely, it's going to be the one more thing, and then there's Starfield.
Oh yeah, oh yeah.
I mean, when you pay $7 billion for a company, you don't expect it to carry you don't expect it to carry your purse. You got to do some heavy lifting here. And it might not be 50-50, but it's going to be substantial. And Microsoft has a bunch of studios. A lot of studios, we know what they're doing. A lot of studios, we don't know what they're doing. There's also other studios that showcase games.
Yeah.
Like Hellblade 2 that we don't know where they're at. Fable, which was announced last year. Was it last year? Or was it late 2019?
Who knows?
One of those two. But Fable was announced. We haven't seen anything other than the CG trailer. So Microsoft has obviously Halo and Forza. So there's a lot of stuff that Microsoft can do other than the Bethesda stuff. But Bethesda has to be a significant portion. You don't put Bethesda in the title if you're not going to showcase that much from them. So yeah, I expect a pretty significant showing from Bethesda. Obviously, Starfield is going to be the main thing. I expect to hear actually something from Doom. Maybe not a Doom 3, but I don't know, maybe like an expansion or something.
Another expansion? Because we already had one this year.
Well, you never know.
Yeah.
But I expect something from id. Starfield, I agree with the sort of the sentiment here. Halo is going to open the show, and Starfield is going to close it. I think we're going to get more sort of the vision of what Starfield is going to be. It's going to be, Brett says, made the prediction, and we made a bet that Starfield was either going to release this year or not. I don't think it's going to get a date, or it's going to get a date for this year. I think it's going to get a date for 2022. It's going to say something like spring 2022 or something right after it being showcased. I'm pretty sure we're going to get something more resembling gameplay. At least I hope so. Because the game has currently a lot of hype. Microsoft knows that this game is going to attract a lot of attention, and it's garnering a lot of expectations. So I think that's something that they can showcase that's going to appease a lot of people. And if they have something, and Starfield is in sort of the bottleneck for everything else, Bethesda said it, it's Elder Scrolls, Fallout, all of that falls behind Starfield. So Starfield has to be the big showcase of the year for Microsoft. And I think and I should be expecting something substantial from Starfield.
A megaton?
Yeah, maybe not a megaton, maybe a miniton. Miniton seems more adequate.
Miniton, all right.
Megaton, and I'll say this: if Brett is right, and this game does get announced for this year, and it does release this year, that's a megaton. If they end the show showing the game and saying, "Oh, by the way, fall 2021, November 2021, whatever, one of those," that's a megaton for me.
Hold on.
Yeah, I would say that.
Does he win the bet?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Will he win the bet? Oh yeah, he will. He will win the bet.
Oh yeah, he'll win that.
No, not at that moment. Not at that moment because it has to actually release. It could get delayed.
Oh yeah. Fair enough.
Okay.
Yeah, fair enough. No, Carlos, check this out. Not only that, like November 21st, that's the first part of the megaton. The second part, Xbox and PC exclusive. That'll be the megaton. I'm gonna be on Twitter all day, man. Like I said, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take whatever, like I'm gonna go to Xbox itself, Xbox.com. I'm gonna take that news clip, post it on Twitter with just one word: exclusive. Watch the comments; they're gonna explode. Oh, by the way, little bit of a non sequitur here, right? And I don't know the dude's name, but some guy on YouTube took one of my tweets and he just read the comments. I'm like, damn, why didn't I think of doing that shit? That's gold. Because when somebody sent me the video, I think it was Paris sent me the video, right? And I was like, oh, is this guy shitting on me? No, he was just reading the comments. Hey, Brett.
What's up, people?
I was just going off on a little bit of a tangent, but you'll enjoy this. Brett, you know how you like the replies to my tweets?
Oh yeah, they're fucking gold, my man.
Yeah. So somebody on YouTube, they did something I should have done years ago. He took one of my tweets and all he did for 7 minutes is just read the comments. The comments themselves provided all the entertainment he needed. I'm like, damn, I should have done that. You know?
Oh yeah, but you need to have somebody narrate it overly dramatically.
Yeah. This guy just read the tweets. It was funny. Anyway, Brett, we were talking about, the question was, will Bethesda do the heavy lifting during the Xbox E3 showcase? And most of us here believe that it will be half and half because it's literally Xbox plus Bethesda, so it won't be one overshadowing the other. What are your thoughts?
I think I'm kind of the other way around. I mean, surprisingly, believe it or not, I don't know if I agree with everybody.
God.
Xbox plus Bethesda.
Who are you?
Yeah.
I know, right? I took Xbox plus Bethesda to be kind of more along the lines of Bethesda presented by Xbox. Like, I don't know if they're going to show a whole lot of non-Bethesda stuff. Otherwise, they would have just kind of done two. I mean, what are they trying to save money by, renting out one stage instead of two? I don't think it really fucking matters at that price point, that market budget. So I think it's more of, what are the two of them doing together? So yeah, it's everything Xbox or everything Bethesda does at this point is Xbox.
Yeah.
But not everything Bethesda or Xbox does is Bethesda. So I feel the nature of the conference will probably be, where the two intersect as opposed to them just sharing time. Which it sounds like you guys are more of they're just gonna be sharing time mindset.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Okay, Brian, any thoughts? Mr. Manjoma. I guess Brian doesn't care. Oh well.
Mr. Majuma.
Let's move on because again we got a lot of questions. Oh, there you are.
I think they're gonna release they're gonna announce the several games.
Oh
I'm
man.
here, motherfuckers.
Brian.
It's breakfast time here, so I'm eating.
Yes. Oh, gotcha.
It's breakfast, not Brexit time, right?
Oh shit.
Oh, breakfast beat and gone.
Yeah. Anyway, Brian, what are your thoughts, bro?
Yeah, I'm pretty much on the idea. Again, it's kind of like a mixed bag of what everyone's been saying. It's like, yeah, again, as Carl said, you don't spend that much money to not have them have something there that's. Damn it, I said it. Shit. You don't spend that much money so that they can do nothing, So they'll have to lift something. But as Brett says, these guys have had their own conference before, so it seems like they'll just be sharing the stage, and Microsoft will saying, "Hey, here's what Bethesda are doing for us," and then Bethesda will do their thing. What they'll have, to be honest, I don't know, and I'm not too sure. I really don't think we'll get any type of Doom announcement because it's still way too soon.
Yeah, I agree.
For that. But on the whole, it's just Bethesda stuff.
Yeah. All right, let's move on. A lot of questions tonight. All right, this is also from Tumeke. He goes, will Sony, quote unquote, win E3 without actually being there? I kind of need to know a little bit more because I'm like, what can they show at E3 that'll make them quote unquote win or during? Because Sony's not going to be at E3, so
yeah,
Doesn't matter.
No, you're right. But let's just say, okay, they're not going to be there. But what would help them win E3?
Can
you know
I
what I'm
just
saying?
frame this question?
Yeah,
What
go ahead.
will it
Because
take for Sony fans to claim that Sony won E3?
That's a good question. The fact that people were
I would say
asking,
just Sony existing.
yeah, maybe they could be like, everybody was asking where Sony was, therefore they won. That's the only scenario I can see how they would win.
Just wait for that to happen, Tony. Just wait.
Yeah, because it's like, okay, they during that time they could show off some Horizon stuff. They already showed Horizon. Maybe God of War, that could steal the show. Or Thunder, they're not going to be at the show. Who knows? But the question was specifically will, not how will they? Will they? I'm gonna
No,
say
I know. I'm just saying, like,
yeah.
yeah, that's the thing. Will they win E3 without even showing up at E3? Like that seems like, what will people be saying kind of question.
Yeah.
Like, I don't think they can actually win E3 without going. So the absurdity of the question makes me believe it.
Yeah.
what
Maybe
will
it was
fanboys
just
say?
in jest.
I think.
Oh, no, what will fanboys
I
say?
understand. I kind of understand.
Well, Bliss
I
is right there, so he could actually tell us. So it's like what he meant. But go ahead. What do you think? What do you think he's trying to say?
Well, it's like I'll give a scenario, and obviously my answer is probably not. But the scenario is this: E3 is going on. We have the Microsoft conference, you have the Square Enix conference, you have all these other conferences. During that same time, there's an announcement, and it says Sony has bought Sega, and everyone stops talking about what the hell happened in E3, and now what everyone can talk about is how Sony just bought Sega. That's the kind of scenario where, Sony can quote unquote win E3 because they technically overshadowed everything. But like
Okay,
I said,
yeah.
is it likely? Probably not.
He just brought up an interesting scenario. What if a bunch of third parties get announced and they just all happen to be on PlayStation? Not exclusive, but they're showing off the PlayStation version. Maybe.
But no one really cares about that.
Yeah, that's true. I don't.
I think Carlos is right. They need something exclusive, something that they do to derail Microsoft, because that's what they're good at, right? They will make an announcement just before the Xbox conference, just to take some wind out of their sails.
That could happen.
Right?
Like, hey, here's some God of War footage.
Yeah.
Yo, if they do
will
that,
do
forget
something.
about it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, Summer Games Fest is still happening, so that doesn't mean that Sony, even though
Sony
Sony's
will
not
be at
go-
Summer Game Fest. Yes.
So yeah, even if they're not going to be at the E3, that doesn't mean that they're not going to have something they're going to want to show at that.
Yeah. So maybe in that sense, maybe that's how they could quote unquote win if they show some God of War footage during, like, right before Microsoft goes on stage. Who knows, man?
So they are at Summer Games Fest, but do
Yes.
we know, like, are they gonna have a conference that's scheduled? I don't
We
remember
don't know.
seeing anything.
We don't know. We have no idea. We just know.
I feel like
they're
it's going to be like
there.
the usual. I feel like it's going to be the usual thing. A couple of sizzle videos, maybe a trailer or two. Maybe they'll
Jeff
have
Keighley
somebody
blowing into a controller.
Yeah, right.
Jeff Keighley blowing into the controller. It's not going to be Sony people. Just say that. It's not going to be that. It's just going to be. Oh, go ahead.
No, sorry, I interrupted.
No, it's good. I'm good.
I was just gonna say it's become so subjective now that to every fanboy, their chosen console wins, right? It doesn't matter.
That is true.
Like, to Nintendo fanboys, literally Nintendo could show the same fucking trailer they showed for Breath of the Wild 3 years ago, tack on 10 seconds of footage, and they'll say Nintendo won E3.
Oh,
right? It
Nintendo wins E3 all the time, according to these people. Every year Nintendo wins.
Yeah.
I remember there was this one year. They had it was like a weird mini New York Comic Con, and it happened the day after E3, right? So I go there. I'm just going, to my appointments and stuff, and I just heard these people. I felt that Nintendo won E3. I'm like, oh, it's with those guys. I'm like, that was trash, bro. I think it was like either 2014, 2015. I'm like, Nintendo's never won E3, except for Nintendo fans. But yeah, Sony will. I don't know if they're even going to do it, but they could interrupt it by showing God of War or something. Who knows?
I mean, they should try.
They should. Yeah, I agree.
I mean, not from a fan perspective, but from a business perspective. Yes. If I were sitting at Sony right now, I would be worried about the same things that I'm anticipating. Being that, okay, well, if Xbox and Bethesda are coming out with a joint Bethesda announcement based on what we've heard before, that could be big. And that's going to be amplified, I think it could be big. Okay, there's a small percentage chance, so I'm not going to act on it, I'm not going to do anything. It'd just be cool to see it happen. But if you're the competitor, that's big, scary fucking news. No matter how legitimate it is, the fact that it could happen, it's going to want to make you put something in the wings, right, to back up against it. They can't just let, God forbid it is a Bethesda Microsoft announcement where they announce some sort of exclusivity with one of their games or shows information about some of their other games. You need to respond to that, right? You can't just let that shit slide.
This is Sony. They don't respond, man. You know that. They'll just do it when they want.
No, they don't respond. They preemptively attack.
Yeah, they do,
And that's what I'm saying. Like, you're not going to not preemptively attack on a situation where there's that much potential for some sort of backlash.
Yeah.
Or not even backlash,
No.
just fanfare for your opposition.
I mean, I don't think so. Not this Sony, because last year we were talking about this whole time. It's like, where the hell is Sony at? Microsoft is announcing all these things, showcasing the console, talking about the games, doing all this stuff, and Sony was quiet for like the longest time. So
You're right. I was using common sense.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know, to be honest. I mean, Microsoft could be, running away with all the headlines and all the news feeds, and I don't think Sony might do anything about it.
Yeah, I agree.
In their defense, it's been years since that really happened. So, what are the chances that they're gonna? Yeah, the skeptic becomes like, yeah, what are the chances that Microsoft's gonna actually trounce an E3? Like, that hasn't really happened in
we have
several generations.
Yeah, we actually have a question about that. So hold that line of thought. All right, let's move on. Next question. We are up to John Christ. What's going on, brother? Oh, by the way, John, you asked us 2 other questions. What do you expect to see come out of Sony camp, and what do we expect to see from the big 3? We will save that for the Thursday show during our big predictions. So stay tuned for that. But the question we will answer tonight is, what are the odds of Microsoft delivering exactly what they need to re-energize or to energize or re-energize their fans? A bunch of exclusives. That's what they fucking need,
I would think so.
Yeah, that's the easy one. Exclusives. Give them exclusives. Exclusives preferably that are coming out this year,
And giving people who are on the fence about the new Xbox a reason to go out and buy that thing. I mean, dude, you have a next gen console.
Gotta have something. I did it, Carlos.
Not one. You have a next gen console and you have very little exclusives to get people excited. They need to get back those folks.
Manny, I'm sorry. I gotta correct you. Microsoft has no exclusives right now.
They have no. Well, I mean, I was being very nice.
Okay, yeah, no. Well, I just wanted. To
they do have.
I wanted to be correct here.
They do have exclusives, but to Microsoft to their platform, right?
Not for Series X.
So yeah, they don't have one at this point in time. So get people. We all know Adam is chomping at the bit to get Xboxed. That's his blood. He loves him some Xbox.
Bleed that green.
He bleeds that green. This is the PlayStation 5 is his side lady.
Oh no.
Once Xbox gets into gear, once Xbox starts saying things that he wants and showing some stuff he wants, he'll drop that. He'll drop that 5.
Yeah.
Actually, Manny kind of made a point that made me think, and I kind of want to ask this question to the panel. Do you guys think because of the difficulty of obtaining next-gen consoles that could actually be working towards Microsoft's advantage? I mean, the best way I can explain it is I just kind of had the thought of oh shit, a lot of people that want PlayStations haven't even been able to get them. Nobody's been able to actually get the next-gen consoles yet. Microsoft better fucking bring their A game, because this is probably the last opportunity. And honestly, it's kind of like overtime in a way. They should have already shot their shot, but this may be their saving grace if they hustle.
By the way, not to go too off topic. Sorry about this. Not to go too off topic, because I was just thinking about this today. Right, this is hardcore anecdotal, right? I'm not saying it isn't hard to get these consoles. It is, but think about it like this, right? The only guy on this panel who didn't get a next-gen console is the guy who didn't want to get a next-gen console. Everybody who wanted one in this panel got one. So maybe we were just lucky in that case. I even bought an Xbox, without any issues. I bought a PlayStation without any issues. So I'm not trying to say that these consoles aren't hard to get, but they're also not impossible to get either.
Yo, shout out to Carlos.
Yeah, how many of us on this panel got our consoles from Carlos, though?
Yeah, that is true. Carlos is a pimp, but the point is we still got him, so there is a will.
Yeah, but I don't know. If I didn't know Carlos, I might not have been able to get my hands on one, man.
Yeah, no, that is true.
I was left out of the emails. I mean, don't get me wrong. I might have been able to find one by fastidiously studying the internet and drop times and showing up. But like again, man, like that's the most hardcore of the hardcore. Most people aren't gonna put the money aside and just wait and call around daily trying to find the fucking consoles.
No, I think we would have gone like Voice of God's route. We would have just paid. We would have just shopped the scalpers and drop the money to get it. Like if we were
Well,
that
you guys are talking for
desperate.
yourselves. Like, dude, I got both of them. Like
Yeah.
that, no issues whatsoever. A little bit of bullshit, but the Xbox was way easier than the PlayStation. PlayStation I had to do like
Yeah.
I had to do 3 cycles and stuff. But I agree. Because I also wonder if it was easier for like I hate to break it down this way, but like more blue collar people to like blue collar people seem to have a harder time because they actually got to do blue collar shit, and then white collar guys like me, it's like I'm sitting right in front of a computer all day. It's easy. So I wonder if there's that distinction exists too.
I'm sure it does.
Yeah,
blue
so it's
collar
something to
people-
consider. Anyway, sorry to go off on that tangent, but yeah, I agree with you. It's like Microsoft has an opportunity here to really shine with this and get these. Apparently, there's going to be a restock of Xboxes during E3. I don't think that's a coincidence.
Oh shit.
Yeah, and I honestly believe once things settle down, things get better, and there's actual consoles in stores, it'll tamper down this whole the scalpers and shit because they're really able to thrive because everything's on the internet now. It's like there's nothing in stores, so hopefully people, regular people, because yes, we will admit we're the hardcore guys. We will find a way, but regular people can just walk into a Best Buy and get their shit. Because these consoles are definitely in demand. And Microsoft has an opportunity, but they need those games, man. They need to have reasons for you to get an Xbox Series X besides, it plays your old games better.
Mm-hmm.
So
It plays your old games, but
So-
I
better.
mean, okay.
Yeah.
They haven't. They don't have exclusives yet, but they've at least announced.
Bethesda thing's
consoles,
huge,
so-
bro. Yeah.
No, the Bethesda thing is huge. I'm just saying, like, in fairness, I'm just trying to be even here.
Yeah.
It's we said they don't have any, and that is 100% true. They do not have any. It's not like they haven't announced any though. Not saying that's worth
Yeah.
a whole lot because it's fucking not. But just to be fair, it's not like they're not going to get some exclusives. What they need to do is still announce way fucking more though, because it's not enough.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Exactly.
it's the example of too little, too late for a whole lot of people. They're like, ooh, got 2 fucking exclusives coming out after 9 years of disappointing me. Color me shocked. I better go out and buy one right fucking now.
Then, but then, Brett, I asked you, how much is enough?
They need probably 2 or 3 more, probably 3 more heavy hitting exclusive franchises. They've got Halo, they've got Gear, they've got Forza. If Bethesda came out and said, hey, we're doing full exclusivity with Microsoft, that would give them Doom, Wolfenstein, Fallout, and Elder Scrolls, and I think that would put them over the top.
Yeah.
In terms of being able to compete, not in terms of just like clearly trouncing the competition. I'm talking about like going to the old school days where we could possibly see neck and neck competition. If Bethesda announces exclusivity, I think that could put them there, which I think is the difference between mine and a lot of people's view right now. Is I view that as in the bag, so I'm kind of already looking at Xbox as having this stable of Bethesda games, and I think at least most of the people on the panel are the same way. But I don't think that's something that's bled down to your average consumer yet, and won't until they fucking announced it.
All right. So yeah, so Microsoft definitely can re-energize their fans. It's just gotta show those games, bro. All right. Moving on. Next question. Here it is, Brett. Will Microsoft ever have an E3 event in the Xbox Series X/S generation that eclipses Sony's E3s of 2015 and 2016? Remember, that 2015 one was like the God year, like what would we have? We had Final Fantasy VII Remake, The Last Guardian, Shenmue 3, and some other fucking game. It's like, bruh. So will Microsoft ever have a moment like that?
I mean,
Go ahead, Brian.
To be fair, I actually think that they did, because if you look at it, they had the GTA thing. Like, no one expected them to have GTA 4 as like a DLC thing exclusive like that long. So
Oh yeah,
I
where
think
Peter
instead
Moore came out with the
they-
tattoo and shit.
In
yeah,
my
yeah.
opinion, yeah, in my opinion, Sony matched that, but now it's like an even playing field. Because again, unless you come out with again, it is GTA. It is the game that they had, and again, it's literally that moment of like, oh, I have one more thing up my sleeve, and no one expected them to actually have something up their sleeve. So I don't know. I'm just thinking that okay, fine. Sony had we have Final Fantasy VII remake, the game that everyone's been asking for since we showed that trailer that back in the PS3 days. We have Shenmue 3, a game that people have been asking for how long, and The Last Guardian, the game that they shown, and then it went quiet and then appeared again. So I don't know. I just don't see it as that big of a defining moment. It was just showing games that they talked about before, and now it's like, hey, they're actually here now.
Yeah, Brian, I'm gonna add to what you said, right? Like you're like, okay, Sony had Final Fantasy VII remake reveal, but Microsoft had Final Fantasy 13 coming exclusively or coming to Xbox. Remember that moment? Motherfuckers were about to commit suicide. You know, like how dare they bring 13 to Xbox? That was crazy. You know. Hold on, is that Coel in the chat? Oh shit. Oh shit, it is. Look at that. Yeah, Carlos, remember that when they announced Final Fantasy 13 also coming to Xbox? Ooh,
Oh yeah, people lost their shit.
that was crazy.
I have a different answer. Will Xbox have an E3 that blows away past PlayStation events? I don't know. I don't think anybody knows.
Yeah.
But can they? I think so. I mean, how about, you show Halo and it's like this is a realistic one too. It's like you show Halo and it's like it looks great. You show Gears 6, you show Fallout, Elder Scrolls, Starfield, you show the Fable game, you say Minecraft is an exclusive, like you could. I mean, there's a I mean, obviously the likelihood of that happening all at once probably not that high, but I mean, there's a possibility, and I think that would trounce what PlayStation did in those 2 years.
I think if any Xbox hoppers has the chance to blow whatever Sony's been showing away, this is the one. I think this is the one that could do it.
This is the year because they've just acquired everything. It's been what 2 or 3 years since Microsoft has started going on the shopping spree. I mean, we still have the whole Ninja Theory stuff. I don't know what they're are they going to show Hellblade? The whole Starfield. I'm pretty sure. I think all of us can agree it's going to get shown this year.
Yeah,
we're going to get Halo. I don't think we're going to get Gears. Forza is a possibility. The whole thing with I always forget their name. Fallout New Vegas. The studio.
Obsidian.
Obsidian.
Yeah, Obsidian.
Obsidian. Okay.
Yeah, Obsidian. So we still need to see their RPG that they're working on. So they have a lot. We just don't know if all of it's going to come to fruition in this press conference. But I mean, if they do release all of that stuff, next week, I'm sure it's going to be, on that level.
Oh yeah, I agree.
Carlos,
yes.
If they released even 80% of those, just 80% of the games that you're talking about, that would be back in like the OG Xbox day. You'd be like, oh, holy shit. And like, honestly, it's the reason I don't think it's too unfeasible is like, really all you need is Bethesda. And it's not because I'm a Bethesda nerd, although I 100% am, and I freely fucking admit it. It's because they have so many large IPs. If they came out and they went, here's Star Citizen, you've all been waiting for that. But also, here's Fallout. Here is Elder Scrolls. Here's Wolfenstein. Here's Dishonored. Here's Doom. It just one after another, and then threw in a couple of like, here's your your Fable and your Halo and your Gears of War, and what I mean, like that's enough large mainline games that I think just, and again, like not just big mainline games, but some of the most successful franchises in history. This was the big thing about what they got when they bought Bethesda, is they got the IPs that follow us back to when we were kids, man. Like I would just lose my shit, like just objectively, like, oh fuck, there's a new Doom coming, there's a new Wolfenstein coming, there's just new Fable coming, there's new Fallout coming, like, and then they ended up with, like, and it's all exclusive to Xbox. Like that would be, at least in my mind, a huge thing. If they released all that stuff, if you saw the new Star Citizen and everything included, and they were like, how could
I
you
think
not
you meant
be foaming at the
Starfield.
mouth? Excuse me,
Starfield.
Starfield, not Star
Maybe it's a
Citizen.
Freudian slip. We don't know.
No, if they did show Star Citizen, that would be no, but that game doesn't exist.
Yeah, it
but yeah, Starfield, like,
What? Wait. You said? Did you say game? You said that game doesn't exist. That game doesn't exist. So you're classifying it as a game.
well, it's really a Ponzi scheme or something.
Yeah,
Wait, who? Wait, so I'm confused now. I know it was a Brett and Brian thing. Who was on? Someone was arguing that it was a game. The other one said it wasn't. And am I tripping or something?
What's going on now?
No, I don't think any of us expected to ever come out, man.
Yeah, no,
because I remember we had a
yeah.
Yeah, because there was a debate. It's like someone said that Star Citizen isn't a game, and I'm like, oh,
I agree.
thought it was
I
Brett.
don't think it's a game. I think it's just a
Yeah,
thing that
Yeah,
exists.
that was Brett who was saying that.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's saying that because it's a bunch of tech demos like string together. It's not a game. It's like, well, things in alpha. You can download it and play it now. So I don't know what you call that. An alpha of some demos, whatever.
Yeah.
okay, so I wasn't tripping.
All right, yo, let's get back
Yeah,
on
so
track. What the fuck are we even
it's-
talking about right now? But yeah, anyway, so yeah, this is the year that could happen for Microsoft for sure. Let's move on. All right, this one is from actually that was from Kishak, and this one's from Kishak as well. Why is how come Xbox is always leaking information while Sony has a fortress of solitude block on any leak? How strong are the Sony ninjas? Sony's leaked some stuff too.
Yeah, there's been some leaks that have come out of Sony, but yeah, it does feel like there's
Microsoft
a lot
has
more
worse,
leaks
yeah.
that comes out of Xbox. Yeah.
Yeah, there's been a bunch of years where like literally beforehand,
come on.
yeah.
we literally right before they actually go on air, we literally found out every single bit of what the way the conference was supposed to go, what things were going to get announced and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I feel like this is like a Western studio problem. Like I remember one year during E3 when I was working at Nintendo, somebody had hacked the site and we had pre-uploaded shots of Ocarina of Time 3D.
Yeah.
And so there was all these images that came out online. Dude, the inquisition that happened internally was insane, right? To
man.
figure out how these guys got in and if anyone leaked anything, if anyone gave away passwords. So I feel like the Japanese in general are very tight about everything. Like how even working on the marketing side on the western part of Nintendo, everything was siloed. Everything. So even though I was doing some technical stuff for the site, I could not see those assets, right? They were siloed just to a core team that was working just on E3 stuff that year. So there's with Microsoft, I feel like maybe because it's such a huge company and it's just so many pieces and so many third parties have to be entrusted, like they probably outsource building their E3 site and they outsource building some other stuff and they talk to tons of marketing companies and they share all those assets, and it's just somebody is not going to be careful and leak that shit, right? So that's where that happens. Or they have a meeting and somebody just takes a picture on their cell phone and goes, "Oh shit, look what's coming out for E3 from Microsoft," and that's it. Once you tell your buddy that, everyone knows, right? So
That's it.
I feel like they're just you just try to entrust, and you could get a guy to sign an NDA, right? But if he tells his boy, like, "Yo, look what I saw at this meeting," his boy didn't sign an NDA. That goes right out of the internet.
Yeah, and I think you're right. It's like a Western thing. It's like, remember, Nintendo Japanese, Sony Japanese, so seem to have a little bit of a tighter hold on stuff. So, what are you guys talking about in the chat? Right? You talk about these Xbox fanboys. Anyway, let's move on. Next question. No. All right. This one is from Shackzilla. What's going on, man? I think that's a new name, but even though I've seen him in the chat, but first time for the question. So what's up, man? Do you think Xbox will have any new hardware, like a new Elite controller or a 2 terabyte expansion drive, HoloLens, or VR Game Pass branded tablet, etc., or a new controller that has haptic feedback like the DualSense? So he just wants to know what kind of can we expect any new hardware to be shown during E3 for Xbox? I don't know.
I don't know.
I mean, Xbox loves controllers, so you know, I wouldn't be surprised we'll get another controller. You know, but I don't think we're gonna get anything like.
We'll get a fair share of those.
Yeah. By the way, so are things funky on you guys' end with Discord? Because something's up.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you sound like a
funky
robot to me.
Yeah, so do you.
Let me change the region. Maybe that'll fix it.
Yeah, right. How's it sounding on you guys' ends?
All right. How about now?
Oh, that became way better.
Wait, what?
Whoa,
I
that
don't
did
know.
sound better.
I
What
don't know.
happened?
Probably did something, and my thing reconnected.
Yeah, what was that all about?
Carlos
I
did
changed
magic.
the region.
Oh
I
shit!
changed the region.
Oh,
On the
Yeah,
fly.
we were on US East, and I changed it to Central, and the
Yeah, it
thing
became
got
way
Bring
better.
us all
yeah,
together.
that's
you know?
crazy. Well, I mean, to be honest, like if you think about it, you know, we're all kind of, you know,
scattered.
yeah, scattered. So I guess perfect.
Yeah, cool. All right.
Thanks,
yeah,
Carlos.
yeah, thanks, man. Yeah, I don't really controllers probably. I don't really see a lot of hardware announcements to be honest. I think it's mostly going to be games.
And nobody cares unless it's like the main system, which
Yeah.
they're not going to update this early. That's impossible. The cheapest and easiest thing for them to do as an offering is to change new colors, right? That's easy.
Yeah.
But I don't think they're going to do like haptic feedback or any kind of
Nah.
major thing like that.
And don't expect any console revisions like some people
No.
are suggesting. You know.
Yeah.
I wonder if Microsoft is going to bring back that customizable controller thing that they used to have with Xbox One. I thought that was pretty cool.
Oh, the Elite controller, the one you could swap out the pieces.
Well,
like
it was
change the
that one,
sticks.
and there's also their website where you could literally go on there and choose the color of your controller, all the different buttons, and all kinds of stuff like that. I always thought
Is
that
that
was pretty
still
awesome.
there?
I don't know.
I mean, you could probably
That's-
still do that.
That's how Tony did up his controller. Remember,
Yeah.
that's
Yeah,
the one that
that's
has, you know.
I have to check. I don't know if they took that down.
Xbox
so-
design, yeah, that's what it was.
Yeah.
Hold on, John. What did I say was impossible? And that Sony's doing? You have to fill me in on that. But yeah, I don't expect hardware stuff. You know. I mean, E3 has hardware stuff, but that's never been. Oh, revising the consoles. Sony's not doing that officially, but that's just a rumor at the moment. I agree. I think the rumor's true, but that's not official yet. You know that the PlayStation's getting changed inside. That's just all rumors right now. So take that with a grain of salt. Even though I personally do believe it, but it's rumor, so you know can't take that seriously. All right.
Yeah.
Moving on. Next question here. Oh, by the way, Mob Hits. This is for Mob Hits, but again, he wanted to know what we think the big three are going to be showing, but we'll answer that on Thursday. All right. His question is it a bad move for Sony to not have a game conference this year with its upcoming games? Is it better for them to spread their state of play streams throughout the year instead? Sony doesn't need to be at E3. They've already proven that 3 years in a row.
Yeah.
Yep.
So yeah, it works for them. It's like they don't need to be there. They
I think
not need
the only part of it, that stinks is especially if you are going to E3.
Oh yeah, because you don't
know,
get to see Sony.
You don't get to see them. Like I went the year that Sony was not there, and it was a very different sort of environment. I mean, literally like Microsoft, and then all the way on the other side of the room was Nintendo.
Yeah.
Excuse me. The whole room was Nintendo. Well, half the room was Nintendo, and half the room was empty because Sony and Microsoft weren't even there.
Yeah, exactly.
Microsoft was in their own building, like they have the Microsoft Theater, and then Sony was just like, nah, we ain't doing it.
But
So,
yeah, I'll be honest. That's why I didn't bother with 19. I'm like, You know, like, well, what's the point? And then apparently, like you said, and a lot of other people said that was just a weird year in general because it wasn't just Sony that wasn't there. It was a lot of other companies that just were not there.
Yeah, a lot of people dropped out. But I mean, here's the thing. That's I think the biggest issue with E3. Whatever's going on behind the scenes at E3, a lot of companies don't like it.
Yeah.
And they literally just pulled out because of it. They'll be adjacent to E3, but they'll never be at the convention center because I'm sure paying money to be in there is so expensive. They just most rather rent like Devolver Digital. They literally rented a parking lot across the street from E3 for their presentation space.
Yeah.
You know, EA wasn't there. You know, a bunch of other companies weren't actually in the place. They were adjacent somewhere else.
Yeah, I mean the first big one that left was EA. They were like, "Fuck this shit," you know.
Yeah, I mean, well, Activision pulled out too at one point.
Yeah.
So
see, the thing about E3, it was already slowly dying out even before the Rona. You know, It was already bleeding dry. So Sony, they've proven it. They don't need to be at E3. So, you know, it works for them. They save their money. You don't have to pay ESA all that money and shit.
Even Jeff Keighley proved that he doesn't need E3. Oh,
you know. So there's not really much more to add to that. Sony doesn't need to be at E3. Next question, Ronan related. He goes big, and he typed it all in capitals. Big hypothetical question. Considering this year's E3 is a digital event, and the press for PlayStation and its leadership hasn't been great lately. If you were Sony, would you pull the ultimate guerrilla marketing move, announce a live stream while E3 is going on, and then do the live stream during their usual Monday night time slot? Again, like, you know, going back to what we said, they don't need to do that. But if I was Sony, I would most definitely do that. I would do it during Microsoft's show.
Oh, yeah.
Be a real asshole, you know? And yeah, for you guys who don't remember, Sony was always Monday night, last show of the day, you know? Sony, or actually Sunday, excuse me. It wasn't, wait, was it? No, it was Monday. It was Monday.
It was Monday, yeah.
Yeah, because we would arrive on Sunday. So yeah, because Monday it would be, the first one would be Microsoft in the morning, then EA, right afterwards, then Ubisoft, then Sony. That's how you, and then Nintendo on Tuesday morning.
It's the next day.
Yeah.
Tuesday.
But yeah, so yeah, if I was Sony, hell, fucking yeah, I would do that. For sure. They don't need to do it, but it'd be cool, you know? So what about you guys? Would you do it if you were Sony?
Yeah, I mean, I would. It probably won't happen, but
No.
yeah, I think that would be amazing. Especially if they had some big guns lined up just to derail Microsoft. Just to like, yeah, we're doing this shit. Fuck that. It's our show now.
Yeah. What about the rest of you guys?
Yeah, I'm the same as Chris. I mean, just you know, if you have something to show and you know like it's gonna grab attention, then might as well. But you know, who knows? Like we talked earlier, who knows what the hell they're gonna do?
Yeah. Again, big hypothetical type of question because we don't think Sony's gonna be showing anything at that time. You know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm skeptical that they'll even show anything. I mean, they're tied for the Summer Games Fest, but
yeah.
I don't know.
I
don't
be
know
some
how much
random
Jeff
indie
Keighley.
game. You know, who knows?
Yeah, that's because you know, and think about it. You know, Sony doesn't want to be at E3 because of the whole ESA stuff.
Yeah.
So now they're partnering with the Jeff Keighley company, whatever the hell that is, and it just I'm wondering to see how much Jeff Keighley can get from them. You know, maybe Astrobot's DLC.
Yeah. Who knows? Yeah, he'll blow on the controller again.
It could be anything.
Yeah. Blitz goes, they could announce the remastering engine, you know, during E3.
It could be that.
You know. But yeah, it's a speculative question, so not too much more to say there. Moving on. This one's kind of fun. They're kind of speculative question as well. Which announcement is more likely to happen at E3? Microsoft resurrecting Scalebound or Ubisoft giving a release date for Beyond Good and Evil 2? Beyond Good and Evil 2 is more likely. Scalebound is dead.
Yeah, Scalebound is
dead. I mean, what's his face? Kamiya, he blocked Twitter. He blocked what's his face? Phil Spencer on Twitter. Yeah, he blocked him. You know, it's like, tell me how you really feel, bruh. You know. So Beyond Good and Evil, but at the same time, what happened to that game? Like, It's like every year, like we're expecting. They showed something like and it looked nothing like Beyond Good and Evil. Some space battles and shit. I'm like, what is going
Yeah, it's
on
some
here?
sort of funky multiplayer thing. It's totally gone the opposite direction of what the original game was.
Yeah. I suspect that they're probably like, oh, this space shit ain't working. We got to go back to the original, you know?
Well, I mean, it's not to mention the creator of that game also and Rayman left Ubisoft.
Yeah. Michel Ancel, right?
Yeah, so probably the reason why we're not seeing any good Beyond Good and Evil is because it was a thing that was connected to him.
Yeah. What's he up to these days?
I don't know. He sort of just sort of fell off the face of the earth, to be honest.
I don't know. Watch that one guy. Oh, he's working on this, that other thing. Like, I don't know. But yeah, Beyond Good and Evil for sure. What are you guys doing in the chat right now? Anyway, moving on. All right. Upper Room AK. What unannounced remake or sequel for each major platform could steal E3? So 3 games, I guess, total. Xbox. You know what? I'll let one of you guys first. I gotta think about this shit.
So we have to do one for each of the big 3?
Yeah, Xbox, PlayStation, and Nintendo.
Well, Nintendo is anything. Anything that's first party, people will lose their minds.
Yeah.
Just give one Breath of the Wild to. People will lose their minds for that.
Well, that was announced already.
Well, it'll still.
Oh yeah, I guess
it'll
so.
still.
Like I said, you show the same
unannounced.
trailer.
Oh, okay. So unannounced. Ocarina of Time remake. Just
You mean on Switch because they already have one of those?
Yeah, on proprietary for Switch.
Yeah.
For something like that. It'll people lose their minds. The sequel for Super Smash Brothers.
Yeah.
People will lose their minds.
Oh, I'm stealing this one from Kishak for PlayStation. Bloodborne 2.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that'd be a good one for PlayStation.
That'd be big. That'd be huge. Huge.
For Microsoft,
Rise of Rome 2.
well, for Microsoft, it's hard because we kind of know everything that they're doing.
Yeah, we do. Yeah, unless they're doing what's the name of that rail shooter game they had? Crimson Skies. Like, yeah. Well, there you go. Crimson Skies 2. Microsoft.
But with Steel E3, I doubt that.
I wouldn't. See, that was Steel E3. You're right, because all their big showings, we already know about them. You're right.
Halo Infinite's going to be there, and it's been announced. Fallout has been announced. Elder Scrolls has been announced.
Yeah, it's got to be got to be a show.
I mean, let's be real. I want to say Gear 7, but would anybody be excited for Gear 7?
It's
besides Adam, it wouldn't steal E3.
Wait, 7? Did we skip 6?
Did I?
4, 5. Yeah, 6.
Yeah. Oh yeah, 6. Gear 6.
Yeah, but
whatever.
it's like, who cares? Except Adam, I gotta call my friend. Not Carlos.
I'm gonna leave Carlos hanging for the 3rd time.
Reggie, what's going on, brother? He goes, "What if Wild is announced?" What's Wild?
Breath of the Wild.
Wild was announced. It's just not out yet.
Yeah, it was announced twice actually.
The one with giant snake lady.
What happened, Brett?
Yeah, I gotta point out the practical difference here between an announcement and a reveal. It's fine if we want if they say something or if they show a fucking logo or whatever, but the first time you see something, that hype sets back in. And that's not that's not a language thing. It's just people get excited the first time they see something. They could have been told about it all they want. The first time they see it, they're gonna get hyped. So I feel like we either need to roll this question in to include first time reveals, even if it's just the first time you see cinematics or whatever. We either need
I think
to
that falls
that
within this.
or
Yeah, it does fall within this. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so when we say Elder Scrolls has been revealed, did I miss Elder Scrolls gameplay or cinematics?
No,
or did I just miss a
well, the
title?
thing is, because you make a distinction between the two. We don't.
Oh, no, that's what I'm saying. Okay.
Yeah.
So if you don't make the distinction, then basically you're saying you're ignoring the fact that I can say Elder Scrolls is coming out, and the first time I see it, then what? It just doesn't matter to me because I've been told it exists.
It
No,
could
the
still
first time
matter.
I see it, that's when it becomes real, man.
Yeah. No, I understand where you're coming from. I'm just saying most of us here don't make that distinction. You know.
Yeah, but I feel like you're all holding a very specific. You're all sticking your guns on the exact definition of announcement, and you're missing the spirit of the question, or it needs to be a separate question. That's what I'm saying. Like you either need to ask both questions or include them as one.
I think you're overcomplicating this. To be honest,
Could you
No, well, I'm
reread
not
the
because
question?
you guys keep saying like, oh well, this has been announced, this has been announced, this has been announced. I'm like, yeah, we haven't seen anything from any of those, and you guys are sitting there acting like when people see these things, there's going to be absolutely no hype for them.
I never said that.
Been told.
I never said that.
Well, then why aren't you saying that people could be hyped about these things, or are you just saying what is the first thing?
Well,
you've
nobody's
never
talking
heard of?
about hype.
No one's talking about hype. We're not
Yeah.
talking about hype at all.
We're just trying to come up with names of games that we haven't seen before.
Yeah, and that was
whether-
the criteria of the question.
Yeah.
Said one unannounced game could steal E3. That's what it said.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, obviously, if
I
Elder
guess-
Scrolls is shown, obviously that could steal the show. But it's been announced, so it wouldn't be a surprise that it's announced.
Wouldn't be a surprise, but it was still a fucking show. You know. Think about it. Fucking Last Guardian was shown twice, and it stole the show twice. You know.
For instance, yeah, like so. No, yes. In other words, it'd be probably. In other words, obviously, we can't answer this question with something that doesn't or hasn't already existed, but it would be something from the past that would, probably, like let's say for the sake of conversation, let's say Tomb Raider, right?
Yeah.
They announced a new Tomb Raider. I don't think I can could Megaton the show, but something along those lines, an established, unannounced thing.
Not you.
I-
Not.
I-
Not.
I-
Okay, go ahead, Brett. Go
I
ahead.
would bet money that this quote unquote unannounced thing is something that we've been told about but hasn't officially been announced with a release date yet.
Possible. I mean, again, the question just says unannounced, so it could be anything.
Yeah, it's unannounced means no logos, no cheesy trailers.
Nothing, yeah.
TV trailers, nothing.
In the reference to the, did you say we had? Because I had heard rumors that there was an unannounced game going to be making big waves.
That's not what this question is about, though.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, the question is just what unannounced games from each of the three major platforms do you think could steal the show? Or that was the question. Or which surprise? Which unannounced remake or sequel? So it has to be a remake or a sequel.
Oh, okay, that makes okay.
Yeah.
Sorry, that's where I was missing the bit. I was like,
Gotcha.
that's such a wide question. Okay.
Yeah. So he did specify that at least.
We're trying to think if a Gears sequel would garner that.
I don't know. It's too much of a speculative question for me, to be honest.
No, the Gears, while it doesn't have series fatigue, it doesn't have that fresh oomph to it. And I know there's a lot of huge Gear fans, but the big thing that drove Gears was the arena combat, which was honestly kind of fresh at the time. The arena combat and the wave-based enemy survival.
The roadie run.
Yeah, neither of those is particularly new anymore. Neither of those is particularly fresh, and I think even the people that fucking loved Gears of War multiplayer, I don't know if they're sitting at the edge of their seat, being like, I need this fucking thing, because I liked Gears of War multiplayer, and by comparison now, like, it just feels like very tight-knit, close quarters, like arena combat. This just feels like a dated thing.
Yeah, but dude,
Maybe
think about
I'm
it.
alone
Gears
on
of War 5 came out like what, a year and a half ago? So do we really need a 6 already?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I just don't know if there's like a huge need for it right now. That game can come along every 3 years and be fine. It doesn't need to be a fucking Assassin's Creed game.
Yeah.
Assassin's Creed doesn't need to be an Assassin's Creed game.
For sure, man. All right, anybody else? Again, I'm not really good with these type of questions.
Banjo-Kazooie is my answer.
Yeah, there you go, Banjo-Kazooie, for everything,
Yeah.
I'll answer for Nintendo guys. I want Mother 3.
If Microsoft announced Jade Empire 2.
There you go. Well, that'll be BioWare would have to announce that, right?
I think Microsoft doesn't Microsoft own the rights to it?
I actually don't know. It's a good question. If anybody in the chat wants to let us know, yeah, but that would be big either. Regardless, that would be pretty big. You know, Rare Replay 2.
Well, I was gonna say Killer Instinct 2.
Yeah, that would be pretty big. That yeah.
But the fighting games are still big, and they kind of let Killer Instinct die off. So if they did a sequel to it, I think that'd be huge news.
Huge.
Yeah. And Nintendo, I mean, and basically, like Carlos said, anything. You could say, well, Odyssey 2, you know, Super Mario Odyssey 2. That would be a Smash Brothers, even though they have one. Oh, there's another one, you know.
Yep.
It doesn't matter.
Super Mario Maker 3, Pokemon game.
They're remaking Balloon Fight.
Pokemon game, aren't they?
Yeah.
Oh, they got two. They got 2 games.
Yeah.
Yeah, 2 new ones. I mean, it's always so confusing when you talk about Pokemon because they release them in doubles.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so you have the Diamond and Pearl remake coming out this year, and then they have that Pokemon Legends Arceus game coming out also this year.
Yeah. By the way, Reggie, I like your question, but that's not an E3 question. So I'm gonna copy and paste that. And we're gonna answer that in a future show because I do want to answer that. He just asked us, will Xbox fans play for Persona 5 if it comes to Xbox? They'll say they're going to play it.
They'll praise the game.
Yeah,
they won't actually buy it.
Yeah. They'll be like, it's on Game Pass. They'll say they're going to play it, but they're not, you know. I think, never mind. We just answered your question, Reggie. There you go.
Dude, Game Pass, Xbox fans are going to get spoiled. Be like, well, it's not on Game Pass.
Yeah. By the way, Brett, I already hear people saying this. Like, why the fuck would I buy that on PlayStation if I could just get it for free on Xbox? People are already saying that.
You know, the weird thing is, after they reach a weird critical point in the bell curve, the whole service thing just takes care of itself. Like, you don't even have to impose services on people. You just offer them a service, and then people are just like, well, I'll just wait for the game to be on the service. You know, suddenly you fast forward, they're like, I don't really buy games anymore. I just get the streaming service.
Yeah. I mean, that's what we're already doing now with movies. Like, I don't buy movies. I just watch them on Netflix.
Well, that's the irony is Microsoft, they did need to, you know, it tried to shove all these ideas onto people before they were ready with it, you know, an iron-fisted approach. Turns out all they needed to do was build it and they will come.
Yeah, for sure. All right, moving on here. All right, this one is from, what's this? Eurocar 9, man.
Who is this dude?
Yeah, I don't know about that name, man. All right.
He's a Euro.
Get back to Europe.
Yeah, right. Go back to Europe, you Euro. All right. What are 2 realistic announcements that you would like to hear from E3? Realistic, not crazy.
I'll go first, since that name and that asker of questions seems pretty intelligent. The first one, I want to, and Brett, I want a Starfield date. Whether, and I predicted this before the show. We were talking about it. I think we might get a date. I just don't think we're going to get a 2021 date. I think we're going to get a 2022 date. So I would like to hear a date for Starfield. And also, I would like to it sucks because, you know, we can't bring up Sony in this because who knows what the hell they're going to do. Yeah. So I think I'm going to stick with Microsoft. I also want to see what more of Elder Scrolls.
And
just a little bit more.
Think we'll actually
mind-reading genius bastard.
Oh boy.
I just think that they're realistic. I mean, we kind of gotten, you know, a little bits and pieces in the past. You know, it's been years since these games have been announced. I'm pretty sure Starfield we're going to see gameplay, and Elder Scrolls I'm pretty sure we're going to get more of the world. You know, we're not going to get gameplay or anything, but I'm pretty sure we're going to be like, oh, so this is what this game's going to be about for the most part. I think we're going to get that kind of stuff.
I would agree. Honestly, that's a 1-2 punch because, you know, I don't think I'm the only person that, you know, has heard when they said like, oh, we're going to talk about this stuff. Anybody who's waiting on Elder Scrolls news knows that it's, you know, coming after Starfield, at least according to what they said. If they're not fucking liars, there's a good chance that they are. But a great way to kind of throw people a curveball in this one. Be like, here's Starfield, and now before we go, Elder Scrolls, and just one right after the other. Watch people fucking foam at the mouth and pass out. That would be not only an amazing way to conclude their conference to really drive shit home, but it's not really that unrealistic.
Yep. Man, it makes a lot of sense. Oh, number 3, by the way, is Connectimals.
Number 3. We got 2 here, man. All right, I keep saying it. Starfield Xbox exclusive. I want to see that. Again, I just want to see the chaos that follows on Twitter. You know, so that'll be fun. I really do.
Some people want to see the word.
I'm telling you, I'm just gonna. You know what? I won't even. I'm not even gonna post the link to the story. I'm just gonna literally just write exclusive. Watch my comments because people are gonna know exactly what I'm talking about. I'm gonna exclusive. That's it. Watch. You know. So that's one, and then the other realistic one. Here's the thing, because a lot of these I don't think will be realistic. So this is a little bit of a tough one. But you know what? This is a little bit more of a faith one. Hellblade 2 announcement, you know, like reveal, like a actual date, you know. So yeah,
I think that's realistic.
So there you go. So those are my 2. Manny, what 2 realistic announcements would you like to hear at E3?
Realistic. Yeah, Starfield is exclusive, and another realistic one. You know what? Let's say Kojima's announcing a new game.
Yeah, that's not realistic.
So Manny, question. Actually, isn't that one of the questions in the feed for the show?
Maybe. Let me see.
So I'll ask Manny right now.
Yeah.
If we get anything from Kojima during this E3 Summer Games Fest,
by the way, shout out to Damien. He's the one that asked this. You know.
Yes. So if anything from Kojima gets announced during this time frame, where do you think it'll be announced?
Ooh.
Oh. Well, for Kojima, to be honest, it probably wouldn't be at E3.
That is true.
It would be with his boy Jeff on.
That's
Summer
right.
Games
That's
Fest.
100% right. It will be.
You know what?
Summer
So
Games
that
Fest.
makes me change. That makes me change my answer.
Oh.
Thanks, Damien.
Oh no, Damien's question is different.
Yeah, his question is, if Kojima comes out with a game exclusive to Xbox, will you finally get an Xbox?
Well, to be honest, buying a new console has nothing to do with Kojima. To be honest.
Yeah.
If Kojima, if the game is something I'm interested, yeah, I'll definitely think about picking it up. But I mean, just because Kojima is making a game doesn't mean I'm automatically going to buy it. As far as Death Stranding goes, was, you know, we were all part of the same little thing. Oh man, it sucks that he got let go from Konami. This is his triumphant point. So now it's like, okay, now what do you got?
Yeah.
Because to be honest, Death Stranding did not do very well. And we know this.
It did not.
It's to be, and I said this from the beginning. Death Stranding wasn't a game that was for everybody, and I definitely think if he was going to be announcing a game, it's got to be a game that has a little bit more wider appeal than his weird walking simulator, game, which I enjoyed, but again, it's not for everybody. Metal Gear is a bit of a different story. Even if you didn't give a shit about the crazy ass storyline the games had, you could still say the gameplay was still damn solid and it was fun.
Solid?
It was solid.
Okay. All right. Chris, announcements. 2 realistic ones.
2 realistic ones. Well, I think we're going to see that Halo Infinite has gotten a graphical overhaul and it's fixed.
Oh, I agree. I forgot about Halo Infinite. That's right. Yeah.
And the second one, I think we will get a release date and new teaser for Breath of the Wild 2.
Interesting. Very interesting. All right, Brian.
Breath of the Wild, the game that copies everything, including itself.
Yes. All right, Brian, go ahead.
Realistic announcement. It's always hard to say, but I don't know. I actually have nothing to say because I really don't know what most of these companies are doing this year.
All right, fair enough.
something that's not a freaking walking simulator, something that's not a cinematic game where you just watch stuff happen. Like, no, I want to do stuff in a game. You know what? Here we go. Here's an unrealistic expectation of Sony. I want them to release a goddamn game that's not a cinematic game because I'm sick and tired of that bullshit.
What about
Give me a game
Returnal?
with actual gameplay.
What about Returnal?
I
What
was
about Life of the
excited.
Black Tiger?
No, seriously, the Returnal
That's
was
not
not a
exclusive.
cinematic game. You know.
Returnal was
Yeah.
barely a game.
Yo.
Uh-oh.
Oh shit!
Get that again.
Oh man.
Do a big budget non-cinematic game. How about that?
Returnal's a big
Actually-
budget non-cinematic game.
No, it's not.
Yeah, it
You
is.
even said that. No, it's not that.
You
big
could tell
a
they threw money at that, dude. Presentation-wise, as a AAA game, it's just gameplay-wise, it's an indie game. You know.
No, they need to actually do. They need to actually do something.
Yeah.
That's not just like, hey, we have cinematics. It's like, yeah, well done.
Yeah. By the way,
I'm
other
proud of that.
who said that shit? John Christ said he wasted $70 on Returnal. He can't refund it. Oh.
Oh man, that's buying that's buying
brutal.
digital.
They
Brett,
suckered you.
Brett was trying to do that too.
Yeah, man.
Yep.
You heard his story.
Held up by their policies. Hey,
It's crazy.
Brian, I'm actually really interested by something that Brian just said. Well, everything that Brian just said, really. And I'm wondering, do you guys think that's a sentiment amongst a lot of gamers right now?
That
Or
what?
I for some reason, as much as I've kind of been on the mindset of like, yeah, I mean, I like big cinematic games, but I'm kind of with Brian. I like to play. I like to enjoy doing things more. I actually hadn't put such a a fine point on it, and it kind of makes me wonder: do you think there's in the industry? Do you think there's cinematic game fatigue?
Not for
Sony
Sony
just
fans.
dominated.
Yeah, not for Sony fans. You know.
Well, but see, the thing, Sony has dominated for so long that the Sony fan base includes a lot of people that aren't necessarily just Sony fans.
Yeah. No, I haven't noticed that fatigue. If it exists, I'm not aware of it. People are still very happy with their cinematic games, and sales have proven people are still very, very happy with them. You know.
Well, I mean, you also got to understand that the first party consumer base is the minority in terms of getting these titles, and most of the gamers that play PlayStation games are composed of Fortnite, EA Sports, the Madden, the
that
FIFAs.
is true. Call of
Fortnite,
Duties,
did I already say Fortnite? Yeah, Call of Duty, all of those people. I think that's what most of the people who own a PlayStation play. I think it's just the Gears and the Uncharted and the Last of Us are more sort of outliers in that aspect.
I was just about to say, I think now that I really think about it, even though those games do make money, they are actually the outliers. They're not common. The big cinematic AAA games, they're not as abundant as they used to be.
Well, yeah, I mean, you say that, but when you talk to every PlayStation fan and you say, why are you a PlayStation fan? Why are you a Sony guy? You almost always get the exact same response. First party exclusives.
Yeah.
And Sony only makes one kind of first party exclusive, and that's big cinematic games.
I mean, they still get those. Again, Returnal. That's not. That's a first party game, and
Look,
it's not.
if
of the mold.
anybody says I have a PlayStation because of Returnal,
No,
fucking
I'm just
email me, we'll
taking.
find somewhere to meet. I'll beat the shit out of you with your own shoes.
I'm just telling you, Brett, that Sony doesn't just make big AAA. That's what they're known for, but they have a lot of. We've talked about this many times. They have indie games too.
No, I know. I'm just saying, like, by that line of logic, if most people who are drawn to the PlayStation ecosystem are drawn there because of big AAA cinematic games, that would say that that's a big draw for them as a company.
Yeah, but that's
I think
Sony
what
guys. So it
I
should.
think what you're trying to-
Go ahead, Brian.
Yeah. I think what Brad's trying to say is that Sony only puts effort behind the big budget AAA games. Because again, they do.
You seem to
make
put a
other
lot of effort
games,
behind Eternal.
but they don't put money behind it. I mean, Destruction All Stars, that was exclusive, PS5 only game.
Yeah, no, that game left to
They-
die.
Sony did not put anything behind that because again, it's not a big budget AAA cinematic game.
Yeah. By the way, Reggie wants you to know, Brett, that he bought a PS5 for Returnal.
Oh, really?
So there you go, and he's loving it.
Oh, sorry. Are you?
No, he's
okay?
loving it. He's having a great time. He's already on the 5th boss.
Oh, awesome, fantastic. That's really all that matters, bro. I could talk shit all day. You're having fun. Good on you,
Yeah.
man.
There you go, man. Although I think your RNG is just good.
You know what?
So-
Maybe it takes all types, man. Like the game is it's very Geometry Wars, and maybe Biomutant is hitting all my buttons, and we know how that's being savagely torn apart in the fucking media. Like that's the beauty of this industry, and I really want to stress this because I can be a bit of a negative person sometimes. If you're having fun, it's all that fucking
bit.
matters. We've said it before, but I'm saying it again.
There you go. That's a general thing in general. It's like, guys, if we don't like a game, doesn't mean that we are mad that you like game. We want you to like games. I think it's great that people like Returnal. I think the game is not to my liking, but I'm glad people like it. Anyway,
and
we're
also
being off track here. Go ahead.
Just going to Brett's point about the getting the Sony's fans perspective, and I think Sony fans, they have a type.
Yeah.
And that's the Last of Us, Uncharted, Horizon category. And there's a lot of people in that camp. So it is a significant fan base that is leaning towards that sort of experience. But I mean, you could say the same thing for the people who play Call of Duty every year for the last 15 years. I mean, they've been playing Call of Duty for the last 15 years, and they still haven't gone anywhere. So, people stick to a lot of different. I mean, freaking Mario, man.
Yeah.
Mario has been, it's had different dimensional aspects added to the mechanics of the gameplay, but at the end of the day, it's still Mario. So.
Okay, here's my chance to even these scales. And I'm going to do so with some relish. Right now, I think there are a lot of people in the Sony fan base that are just there because Xbox sucks. Like, let's be fucking honest. They may not be huge into the third-party games, but their friends are. They want to play on the same system that their friends are. And it's not like Microsoft has given them any reason not to go with PlayStation. So you have the exact same games. You generally don't care about the ones that are on Xbox. You kind of just get automatically folded into the PlayStation group.
Well,
Yeah.
Brett, I mean, you can say that every generation Sony's been in the game.
Yeah, except for some of the OG generations where it was a little bit more neck and neck. And I think that, we used to have kind of more of a 50-50 split. Not really.
Wait.
50-50.
Wait. No. When was it neck and neck besides PS3 era?
In the States, the OG Xbox actually had a pretty good.
No, OG Xbox was.
You know what?
Murdered.
You can say whatever the fuck you want, man. You didn't work at
sales,
a
dude. Fuck that shit. Sales. Look at the sales, dude. I'm talking
Are we
objective.
talking strictly U.S.?
We're talking the whole world, man.
Okay,
I'll look it up.
just
I'll look
said.
it
Yeah,
up.
no, we're not gonna go with like oh, in my experience. No. We're going with worldwide sales here. That's the only thing that matters.
I'm not. I want to hear U.S. sales because you know what?
So you can win the argument then? Come on, man. That's bullshit, dude.
All right,
that?
we'll do it. Is North America fine, or does it have to?
No,
Yeah,
the whole world. No. The whole world. I don't accept only in America. No, the whole world. Fuck that shit.
Okay.
I will not accept otherwise. Nope.
Well, let's just dabble because I kind of want to. Xbox or OG Xbox.
Yeah.
So OG Xbox North America sold 15.7 million.
Mhm.
And what was the counterpart? PlayStation
2.
1 or
2.
Or PlayStation 2? Yeah, that was a counterpart. PlayStation 2 sold 53.6 million.
Come on, man.
What's that?
52 million to 17 million. Come on, bro.
Okay.
15 million.
Yeah.
I'm still good. I still stand by it. When you were talking to people in the zeitgeist, right? Like, they kind of held this neck and neck perspective. The idea was there was two major competing companies, right? Since then, it's been beaten to submission. That's not the thing anymore.
I don't know who
Right,
you
you
were
can't-
talking
you
to
can't
because even back then people were like, Xbox is getting no. The Xbox was a joke when it came out, So I don't know.
Okay,
Yeah.
we get it. Nothing has ever competed with PlayStation. Now,
Yeah.
after PlayStation, the next one up does kind of become a thing, man. Like I get that it's dominated. I get that it's had great sales. It hasn't always been the only thing. People haven't always been exclusively Team Sony, man.
Oh no,
There has been
I agree with you.
genuine competition in the marketplace before.
Yeah, the Xbox 360 era. That's it.
Yeah. I mean, look, I'm saying the OG Xbox, it was no slouch. The fucking PS2 was just an amazing selling system.
Yeah.
Like all over the world, it continued to have amazing sales. But at the time, like, it's not like you didn't fucking sell any Xboxes, man.
They did, but I was just questioning your thing. You said in the older generations it was neck and neck. I'm like, there was only one generation that was neck and neck. Every other generation,
I'm
that's the
using
only
neck
thing.
and neck.
Yeah.
I'm looking neck and neck very loosely and in terms of like zeitgeist perspective here.
All right. Well,
Like,
you got to use sales. You know me, brother. I need them. I work on sales, something tangible. You know.
Yeah, well, sales oftentimes like it's weird. Sales are important and they do matter, but perception is also important, right? Like if you're lagging behind, you want to put forward a little bit more media to kind of help make up for that. The idea being that the point that I'm trying to make is it wasn't one-sided, right? And it wasn't like, you know, like Xbox was necessarily the gigantic underdog. You kind of viewed them as a competitor. Probably should have thrown neck and neck in there, though. That was where I think you got hooked up.
Okay, well, yeah. But they've always been a competitor. So, well, at least starting with the Xbox era, they've been a competitor to Sony, direct competitor. You know, because Nintendo, they're Nintendo. You know. Anyway, we went way off fucking track with this question.
Yeah, that went off the
anyway,
rails.
Adam, welcome back, man. You were having some problems.
This whole time, man. So I got 4 beeps on my PC, and that could be things, but most of the time it's the memory. So I took them out. I did a reseat. It still didn't do it, and I was like, shit. But you know, being the computer nerd that I am, I have a lot of boxes full of parts and shit. So I'm digging through, and then sure enough, I found an envelope that had some RAM 16 gigs there. So then I went and I put those in, and it's working, and that's why right now I forget. You know what? Instead of, I'm going to jump on because I want to feel it. You know what I mean? I want to have the camera on.
Yeah.
I have the audio. I have everything running. I got other apps. I'm just bumping a bunch of shit to see if this is working. Right now, no beats. It turned on with no issues. I checked the system. The system's seeing all 16 gigs with no issues. So hopefully that was it.
Wow, that's crazy.
That's pretty
Anyway, so Adam, what 2 realistic announcements would you like to hear at E3? Realistic.
From anything from E3, hardware or software.
Yeah, anything. But it has to be something that like, oh yeah, this is probably going to happen.
Get a date for Skate 4.
Okay.
Because we have no date. Because remember last time they just said
that is true. That's realistic. That's realistic. Yeah.
They just said we're going to make it. Well, now you should give us a date, and hopefully the summertime if that's possible. So that and hear something about Grand Theft Auto. I know they don't show up, but 2K would announce something.
You think that's realistic though?
I think that think about it. How long it's been? What 5-6 years? This one has been out.
No, it's 8 years.
8 years. Oh my bad. 8 years. So yeah, it is realistic. 8 years. We should at least get a date. Doesn't mean it's coming out tomorrow, but at least.
Mind you, Rockstar rarely announces anything during E3. Keep that in mind.
No. Rockstar never does, but 2K will do something.
Maybe.
2K. It doesn't mean that. No, we're not going to see Rockstar show anything, but 2K could definitely, when they announce all their other games and then just throw a splash screen. It was like, you know, GTA and play Siren. See all the start, boom, 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 and then maybe throw a date like 2022.
Yeah. Now Peter Moore will come out with a tattoo. You know.
Oh, there we go, and then rub it off afterwards.
Yeah.
Fucking bastard.
Brett, I don't think we heard your 2 realistic announcements. Drink all that.
No, I was with Carlos. I think Starfield and Elder Scrolls.
Elder Scrolls, yeah.
Yeah. I'm with you guys with the Battlefield, with Starfield, but it's going to be exclusive. That's what I think is going to happen.
Oh no, no, they're going to come out and announce it and Elder Scrolls, and then say that they're both exclusive, and then just drop the mic and walk away.
God, I will.
Man,
I'll be on Twitter all day. Again, I'm just going to tweet out exclusive. Watch the comments, bro. Watch the comments. All right, moving on. Neil, next question is from. Okay, so no, not I. Who? I'll cut that. Whoa. So this guy Romudeath, handsome fella, he's sponsoring to make his bonus question.
Ooh.
So thank you, Romudeath. Very generous man. You know, looking out for the people. You know,
Thank you, Mr. Romulan.
Mr. Romulan. You know, Mr. Romulan. Whatever happened to fucking
Mega Jack?
Mega Jack?
Romulan, they show up. Romulans are back in Picard. You see
Oh
them.
God! All right. Okay. What will get the bigger viewership? Keighley Summer Game Fest opening event or any E3 conference? I think E3 just because of the name recognition.
Nobody watched the other Keeley shit. No one knew what time or date that shit.
Well, this
was
one
there.
has a
Remember, it was
time and
all
date.
over the place.
This one
Yeah,
has
it
a time and date. Yeah, on Thursday, 2 p.m. Eastern, the kickoff. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So I think E3 is gonna. Individual E3s will probably get more just because of the name E3, the longevity. But then again, Jeff Keighley has that pull. You know. So this is a little bit of a tough one to answer, to be honest.
I think the Xbox and Bethesda conference, or maybe even it's between that and the Nintendo Direct are gonna have the most people watching. Because think about it, the whole Summer Games Fest thing is just like a huge smorgasbord of stuff that we don't even know.
Yeah, 30 games.
It doesn't like it could be Life of a Black Tiger 2 for all we know. So I think more. The Xbox and Bethesda conference is more, it's more concise. It's more, focused, and people want to see what they're going to say. So I think either the Xbox or the Nintendo conferences are going to do better numbers.
I'm going to agree because it's E3 and those conferences. But yeah, because you're right. That kickoff is just like 30 random games. Jeff Keighley going on a controller.
Remember what happened last year when he did this? It was like multiple days and times.
Oh, that's still going to happen. That's still going to happen.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But that's the thing. I did, a lot of people that I know that were looking forward to it missed it. They were like, "Oh, what time is this?" Like, "Oh, that should happen. It was in the early morning." And I was like, "Oh, all right. Well," and I think it's one of those things. It's not one set time, and everybody can tune in. So who knows?
Yeah.
It all depends, like you said, on marketing. If you can get the word out there.
The kickoff, that's a definite lock date, 2 hours at 2 p.m. Thursday, but after that, then it's going to be random things, And then the thing is, there's intersections, like Summer Game Fest is, I think, also going to be showing the Xbox thing. So, it's kind of weird, Like, I don't know, it's just weird. So do we all agree? E3 still going to have a bigger showing than the Keighley show?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, again, Xbox and Bethesda alone, man, that's it. Let's just be real here. All right, that was an easy one. Now we're going to go to Black Metal Gamer. Still about E3, but a little bit off the wall,
Uh-oh. The kids stop getting up.
Okay. Who made or who had the worst or cringiest E3 shows? Nintendo had some really bad ones, man.
Yeah, Nintendo.
Oh yeah, you remember the Wii Music one?
Yep.
Was
Robbie
it Robbie Drums?
Oh man,
Robbie Drums. And what's her face? That woman that came out, she was weird too, man. And then, oh my god, and then was it Miyamoto? Was like, the whole thing was just weird,
What about the one that Manny was outside of a few years back? Remember, something happened, he couldn't get in, but he was outside, and that's when they had that mobile game, and he spent like a half an hour or some guys just playing some mobile Command and Conquer or something.
Oh, you mean EA Play? Yeah, that crazy shit.
And people were like, people were like, what the hell is this shit? It was so boring, and it was just it was long.
Oh, that's the one where they're playing like laser tag in the theater, right?
Yeah.
Like, what the hell is this? And
it was horrible.
And that went on forever.
Yeah, that was crazy.
Remember the Just Dance one? Where it's like they get man.
And remember that one?
Carlos?
Yeah, remember that one Xbox conference with Skittles and shit.
And Connect one,
and Milo, right? Wasn't he part of that too?
Peter Molyneux came out on that same year.
And obviously we cannot forget that big Konami one. 1 million troops.
Oh god, the Tak Fuji 99. Yeah. Holy shit.
Oh man. And then remember that Ubisoft one with Mr. Coffee? I'm like, well, what is up with this dude? I kind of miss those cringe E3s. They're so like neutered now,
Yeah, well, at least they tried,
Yeah.
They
yeah.
tried.
Yeah, what
They
are
were
some
trying
other
to put
cringy-
some life in that shit.
Yeah,
Well, the other cringy one, the one I was working there with the Ravi drums one. I was also working there when they showed Skyward Sword and they couldn't get it working on
Yeah, that's
stage.
right. Yeah.
Oh
That was rough, man. Ooh, that was bad.
Was that Uncharted where they had to restart?
I remember
Was
that.
E3?
Yeah, that was like E3. We were there. We were there live. Oh shit! Look at this. You know.
Oh, oops.
What about you guys in the chat? Let us know some of the cringy moments. Then obviously Kaz Harai, yeah, you get a second job. It's like, bruh.
And the giant enemy crabs.
The giant enemy crabs.
Yeah. I had a buddy who had that. Wasn't good. Had to get the cream.
Yeah. Yeah, that was Konami 2010. Yep. All those Ubisofts with Joel McHale, like, ugh. You know, they were like, what the fuck is this dude doing, man?
Trying to be funny.
Yeah,
Yo,
right?
Remember hashtag Lady Boner?
Oh, God. Oh, imagine just saying that shit now.
But yeah, just Ubisoft then, because Ubisoft just seems to have like the most amount of fuck ups.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then they also have like those French Canadian presenters, and sometimes
Yeah, it's like, whoa.
Yeah, I
What?
understand.
What was the comedian chick that they had from?
Aisha Tyler?
Yes, they should just keep bringing her.
Yeah,
back
no,
for
she
some
was good.
reason.
She was
They
good.
just-
She was
She
good.
was good. She was good, and then
Yeah,
they
it's-
accepted. I mean, it was like a year or
She was
two
better
ago,
than Joel
and
McHale,
they
you know?
had
No, they had her.
when
They
she
had her
came
for a
back,
good
she was
string
like,
of
"I'm not."
years. They had her for a good string of years.
Yeah, they did. They
Yeah.
did. That's what I'm saying. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. It was good.
Yeah.
But then she did like the whole lady boner thing, and I felt that was just awkward.
yeah, that was really awkward.
You know, it was just kind of like, why? Like, okay, I understand like the jokes, like, oh yeah, you get a boner, okay, fair enough. Then it's like get like lady, but then how many guys ever say that? Like, oh yeah, I got a boner while this video game was being shown. It's like, no. Again, do you know anyone that said that?
No.
So yeah, it just felt a bit odd.
All right. I don't know if
Can I
this
say
is.
something
Yeah, go ahead.
controversial?
Yeah. Oh. Go ahead.
The Sony conference when they showed The Last of Us 2. Because remember, and Manny and Tony were there. They had a great time because they were parading around and the sets and stuff.
The move.
Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. For you
Yeah,
guys, it was weird. You
No,
know?
it was like I could tell that thing. I'm thinking about it like while I was there. I'm like, this is cool for us, but man, what is it going on over there? Are they putting what are they doing? and then I finally saw it and I was like, oh my god, this is horrible.
Like, I mean, they showed like what 3 games, and like they were cool. It was Ghost of Tsushima, Last of Us 2, and I forgot what else they showed. But it was just that everything before, in between, and after was just bad, man.
It's just a long delay from the moving. That
yeah.
I remember. It was like at least 20 minutes or so.
We streamed it.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We were there in the chat and we were waiting.
Yeah.
And
No, you're right,
remember
because,
we
like,
text you guys and you said we're still waiting to move in
Yeah.
the next room or something.
Yeah, because and it was. I mean, for us, it was cool. Like, for example, like the area between the Last of Us and Ghost of Tsushima was this like Japanese garden. You know, that was really dope. And there was another area that looked really cool. But then, yeah, when I thought, because I wasn't thinking about the moment, I'm just like fucking Hillary Clinton when she looked at the balloons, like, looking around like this is crazy. But then it's like, oh, this must be horrible for people watching at home, because what are they doing? Are they just watching us? No, it turned out you were watching some nonsense for 20 minutes while we transitioned, between places. But it was Last of Us 2. It was in a church. Me and Manny were next to Kojima,
Oh yeah, behind
then then Ghost of Tsushima, right? And then I don't know. It was only one transition, I believe, but and then we got to just big theater, and then a bunch of random stuff. That's also the same year where they announced Resident Evil 2 remake, right? And that was dope, because I remember like when they showed it, you were like, "This is Resident Evil 2? Oh shit!" Because they had announced it like 2 years before. They're like, "Yo, this thing's coming." They didn't say shit. Just like, oh, it's coming. And then that E3, they show you the actual footage, like, oh, by the way, it's available for you guys to play at the booth, and it's coming out in 2 months. Like, oh shit, that was dope. But yeah, that must have been weird. But yeah, I missed those really cringy E3s. Like because everything's so scripted and staged now. But yeah, but I think Nintendo's probably have to win, because Nintendo's terrible. You know, although but then again, Brian, I think you might be right about Ubisoft. I think they may have up Nintendo actually. Now that I really think about it, just because of the French aspect, you know.
All those Just Cause games, I've just been like, ugh, what the fuck's going on?
Oh,
here?
Just Dance.
It just dance like
Yeah.
what? Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah, it's just like I just remember this one where like all these like random dancing people just come down the aisles and it's like
Yes.
and then like
God.
some
What the
dancing
fuck?
bear. I'm just like, I understand it's just dance, but why? Like,
All right. This isn't cringy.
Why?
It was just weird. Remember that EA play? And we were all there. It was me, you, and Manny and Chris. We were there with Pele. We're like, why are we interviewing
Oh,
Pele during the
God,
middle of
Yeah,
E3?
that.
What the fuck? Like, let's just stop. And that was also the one was like, oh, we got a new Mass Effect coming. Here's some concept art. Oh, we got a new Dragon Age. Here's some concept art. It's like everything's concept art, you know?
Yeah.
That was Andromeda. You know? All right, Pele. I was weird. Like, we're going to interview Pele now. Oh, yes. The king of the
Okay, like, he
Suckerfield.
can't even walk now.
Yeah, that shit is crazy. All right, moving on. You know, this one's fun. This is really more for me, Chris, and Manny, though. What were some of the best foods we had at E3 when we went to LA? I'm gonna say this. I was funny. I was just thinking about this last night. Denny's was our savior, man. That was-
Oh yeah, especially when we were in Beverly Hills. Yeah,
yeah, man.
because because Tony, what happened was Tony got when he got the hotels, he actually, I forgot what it was. We couldn't get the usual hotels we could get.
Yeah, they were
We usually
all
get.
booked. You know, so we had to go
They
to
were all
the hotel was nice, but like Beverly Hills was far
Yeah.
as fuck.
Oh
you
yeah,
know?
it was far.
You know, but yeah, Denny's was always our savior. Not only there, but the other place we stayed the last time.
Yeah, the second place.
Yeah.
Yeah, that one. That place was had a good price, and then the other part of it was a lot of stuff open, but that area is a little bit sketchy. That's like it's like Jamaica sketchy in that area.
Yeah, it was a little. Yeah, it may have been a little worse. We go there. The first thing we see is 3 hookers in front of the hotel. It's like, okay, here we go.
Yeah,
you know?
well, we know where we are right now.
But yeah, I don't know. There's no. I mean, that first E3 we went to, that one Mexican restaurant we went on a final day with Torrance. That was really good. We had to wait on that line.
Yep.
That was when I learned what chorizos were, right? Because I'm looking at it. This is the craziest fucking thing, right? So
Oh yeah, the Mexican breakfast restaurant. Yeah, that one.
so because they had chorizo on the menu. I'm like, what the fuck is a chorizo? They had a translation, but the translation wasn't in English. It was in Spanish. It was longaniza. I'm like, oh shit, that's what chorizo is longaniza. You know? And then I remember the owner, he just showed up out of nowhere. He was happy as fuck that I spoke Spanish. You know? Yeah.
Oh yeah. Well, as soon as Tony pulls out the Spanish, it's like, whoa!
Yeah.
We all started to get good service and all
Oh, yeah,
that.
we
shit.
started getting really good. We didn't have to pay that much either.
Discount.
You know?
There you go. You get that discount.
Yeah, we get the what was it, the Latino discount?
Yeah, that's it. Reggie, that's right. Barbecue sandwiches at the Ubisoft private party. Yeah, he was there that year. Reggie,
Was I at that? No, I didn't go to the Ubisoft.
No, you didn't.
Party.
We didn't go. I didn't go there. Reggie, he was with hip hop. So
He was
yeah.
hip hop. Yeah. Reggie got the. That was Reggie's first E3, and he got the grand tour.
Yeah, he went to the Michael Pachter party and everything. You know.
Oh yeah, you got the best experience, Reggie.
Yeah. But in all honesty, the food doesn't really stand out because we just get whatever the fuck we can. Whatever's available.
I can't really say that.
Smash burger. You know, we get shit like that.
You know what? I mean, I do have to say, like some of the things that I have gotten into the especially like the Sony things. Like Sony feeds you.
Oh yeah.
And they're pretty
yes.
good. Like the food that they give you is like it's.
That's my
it's
answer. That's my answer. The Sony food trucks were the best. You know.
Oh
yeah,
man.
like when after cause especially after they're running gallivanting all around, going to all these conferences. If you got over into the Sony area, they knew y'all were hungry, so they had some food trucks, some good stuff there. It was cool. I always dug that.
Well, they fed you before and after.
And after.
Because the after room, and then they had desserts and beer or whatever you wanted. They had
Sony. That's my answer. The Sony food trucks.
Sony wine and dined you.
Yeah.
If you on all of them, all the ones that they did. They always like when you came into the conference, you can get some beers, you can get some little hors d'oeuvres, and then after that, that other one when Tony, Chris was with us with the coalition. Yeah, they had the little food thing, and they walked in a room, and it was good stuff.
But yeah, even though
Microsoft don't even give you breakfast.
No, Microsoft don't give you shit. You know? But yeah, I remember the last E3 that Sony was at, the one we were at, right? They gave, we had the food right beforehand. Then we went through the whole trip, Last of Us, all that other stuff, and then afterwards we got even more food. I remember the joke was because they had this like kind of set that was like set up like Spider-Man. I'm like, yo, I just came from New York and I got to see fucking taxis and shit here too.
Yeah, it was pretty funny.
Yeah, that was good stuff, man. Sony for sure, best food. All right, and the final question of the
I'm surprised you didn't mention Roscoe's.
Roscoe's! How could I forget Roscoe's, man? Roscoe's is the truth right there. That's some good food, But that's not even really E3 food. That's just LA food.
No, that was just LA food.
You know. But then again, Denny's is not E3 food either. But fuck it, All right, final question of the night. This one is also from Black Metal Gamer. Just to tie it all together, everything because we've been talking about E3. We're going to be covering E3. So his question is, who wants E3 to live on, and who wishes it to die? I don't think any of us wishes to die. We just want
Nobody
E3
wants to.
We want it to.
I don't want it to die, but I want it to become a little bit more open, man. I mean, I don't know. I'm not talking about just making a half and half show where you literally got to have the certain. No, lock the show down to the media, and then open that shit up to all the people. I think it's.
Copy Gamescom, copy Tokyo Game Show.
Copy Gamescom, copy Tokyo Game Show. Give people a party, where you have people running around in the cosplay, all that shit that you see in the other cons. Just the way those guys do it, and it'll be a great experience. You know,
because you have your media days and you have your fan days. It's perfect. Everybody wins.
Exactly.
By the way, I changed the question a little bit just to make it a little bit more positive. It's just, should E3 live on or should it go away? I think E3 needs to get with the times, evolve.
Yeah. Here's the thing: there's so many other shows that are able to give media and give influencers an experience where they can cover all the things that they can cover. To show to people who can't fly in. Yeah. But also have it for people to go to. I feel like, everybody says, oh yeah, some people say, oh, video games needs a celebration. Like, what is a celebration when a lot of the people that actually buy the products can't even fucking go to the damn thing? So, open it up, but open it up right.
Yeah.
But you know what? I was thinking this could be a question. It's a link to that one. Do you think that this is going to change everything now from what we've experienced through the whole pandemic? And as you see now, we get all these virtual ones now for the E3, virtual E3 room and this and this and this and that. So let's say next year, are we going to have a combination of both? Because I can see a bunch of studios that say, you know what, it worked out doing those virtual ones. We're getting more eyes, sort of like what you were saying. It was like the people that actually buy are actually seeing it, and they're doing some of the where you can still play with the demos and stuff. So what do you think? Do you think we're just going to go back to the way it was next year, or do you think this could be the new norm?
No, I think it's going to be it's funny. I was literally thinking about this morning. Yeah, I think it's going to be a combination of both where, you have the live show where people go there, attended, but then you have like special streams for other people. You know what I'm saying? Like, obviously the people who are there won't be able to watch these streams, but other people will. And like, you get demos and stuff, like you said, stream demos, obviously, because I think that is a safe way to do it. It's like, you don't want to give codes to people. You do not want to do that. So I think it'll be a combination. And I do believe, just going with the general trajectory of things, so things are getting better, right? As far as the lockdown goes, I think next year, both E3 and Summer Game Fest will be live shows. Think about it like this, right? Summer Game Fest was supposed to be an actual live show last year, but everything got fucked up because of the Rona. Jeff Keighley wants that. He wants to have his competition for E3, and I guarantee you, if Summer Game Fest, when Summer Game Fest becomes a show, it will be in Los Angeles, either during E3 or close to it. Watch. Jeff Keighley wants to screw the ESA over, and he's going to do that. So it's going to be wild. Imagine you being a fan next year. You have to decide, where do I go? Do I go to E3 or do I go to Get Fan Fest? Or Games Fest. Fan Fest is the Xbox thing. It's going to be interesting, man. Next year, and here's the thing about next year. People are going to, because you already have this pent up energy from being fucking locked down for a year. So when people go out to E3s and shit next year, it's going to be an explosion. So ESA really needs to get their shit right, because there's going to be a lot of people who wants to attend that shit. So you got to do it correctly, So get ready. But Jeff Keighley's thing, I wouldn't be surprised if Jeff Keighley's thing's a little bit more inviting. It's like, hey, we got cheaper tickets and everything, Remember, Jeff Keighley was already doing.
We don't need digital badges.
Yeah. Oh my God! You see that shit? They have a physical badge for Summer Game Fest. I'm like, for what? For what? But yeah, that's what's gonna happen next year. Anyway, go ahead. I was rambling. What happened, Brett? Brett, what did you say? Repeat that, sir.
Oh, I said physical badges for the mild feeling of superiority.
Yeah. Jeff, where's my badge at, bruh? Just saying,
Yeah,
what are you supposed to take pictures of and post to Twitter, man?
That's right, I gotta take screenshots of my E3 application and shit. Hey, I got accepted, yay! Anyway, I'm rambling now. Go ahead, Carlos. Carlos, say something, motherfucker. No, you don't want to say nothing.
Yo, man, I'm just wondering if you guys gonna cut me off again.
No.
So I forgot what I was gonna say.
Summer
Jeff
Game
Keighley.
Fest,
Oh yeah,
there you go.
that dude. Yeah, that guy. Like I said, since he announced his huge, I'm not gonna be at E3 for the first time in like 50 years. I'm like, yeah, motherfucker, because you want to fucking overthrow this shit. You're a fucking usurper, man.
Oh,
it's like you're like, and it's fine. Like, who cares about the ESA?
Yeah, man, he's standing as Baratheon, man. What the fuck?
Yeah, he's like, save me the crocodile tears, man. You're trying to make shit on your own, and you want to make your own thing. That's why you left. Don't give us this bullshit.
Don't give me no jibber jabber.
No jibber jabber. Oh man. All right. Any thoughts on E3? Should it move on or should it stay?
It's done. We need all the events we can get. It's always fun. This is what keeps things entertaining. You want to see events. You want to see them get better. And for a while, they were. Remember all the issues that we were just talking about that with setting up dates and then opening it to the public, and then you can't get the interviews, and then it causes all these problems, and they didn't really give a shit. And well, now it was a wake up call because so Microsoft and a few others just said, well, we'll do our own event. We don't need you. Mm-hmm. So hopefully this was like a smack on the wrist. I'm like, hey, wake up.
That's still going to happen, though, Adam. Like these companies will still hold their own thing no matter what. Of
course. But we just want everything to just balance out, and hopefully this is going to give us that balance.
A little bit, By the way, EA said, "Fuck you guys." They're having their shit in July. They said, "Fuck." At least Summer Game Fest and E3 are kind of overlapping. That's good. But obviously, Summer Game Fest is going to go beyond E3. But EA said, "Fuck you guys," And Sony, who knows? I think if Sony does show anything, it'll be like probably August or something. Watch them do some shit like that, Any other thoughts on E3 and its future?
I mean, that's it. I already said my piece on that one.
All right. I think we'll have to wait and see with E3, but it's going to be interesting. But again, we will be covering E3 for you guys. So let me pull up that schedule here and go over it once again. Perfect.
Look at that beautiful beam footage.
All right. So, I guess you could start updating these graphics now because now one of these shows is in the can, son. Finished. All right. So the next show you have to look forward from Throwdown is Throwdown episode 338, which will be the pre-E3 specials. So just like our usual ones, we're going to give our predictions of what we think is going to happen. Actual predictions, not bullshit predictions, but then we'll throw in some bullshit in there too. Like, what do we want to see? The usual stuff. And we're going to just run down all the companies. We may or may not have a special guest. We will see what happens. And then after that, we're going to have on Saturday, Ubisoft Forward live reactions. That's at 3 p.m. Eastern on June 12th. After that, on June 13th, on a Sunday, we're going to have 3 streams for you guys, man. First, the big one, Xbox plus Bethesda at 1 p.m. Eastern. After that, Square Enix at 3:15 Eastern. Then Throw Down Your Questions, the E3 special at 10:30, your usual time. On Tuesday, June 15th, we're going to have Nintendo Direct live reactions at noon Eastern. Just also the Treehouse. It's the same deal, basically. That Thursday, June 17th, we'll have Throwdown episode 339. And then Sunday, June 20th, we're going to have Throwdown Your Questions episode 339. So lots of streams. And again, if we don't cover any streams, we will talk about them during these shows, the Throwdown shows. So everything will be covered here. So no need to worry about that. So it's going to be busy. This is what I always said about Throwdown, man. The only time we're really inconsistent is during E3 when we have more shows than usual. You know, that's the good kind of inconsistency. Piggy Dan, what do you mean post this on Twitter? It is on Twitter, bro. Head over to Throwdown Show. At Throwdown Show. It's our Twitter. It's literally the pinned tweet, bro. The whole schedule's there.
Yo, man, and it's animating.
Yeah, yo, Piggy Dan, you just blew your own spot up, man. It means you don't follow us on Twitter. Oh. I see you. I caught you, son.
And MySpace.
You know? There you go, man. Yeah, get over to Twitter. It's literally the pinned tweet. Throwdown Show. And, yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to be very busy here. So that's going to do it for us. Do we have any pimpings we need to do around here?
Well, there's usual things. Excellence. Marvel, DC, all that stuff coming for me. Stay tuned.
Good stuff. Adam, what you got, man?
Got another episode of I Am Negan. That's out. Did that one on Friday night for the second to the last, getting to the season finale of Fear the Walking Dead. So it's getting good. It's getting good. We got some nukes and everything gonna blow up, and they didn't cheese it out. They actually deployed.
Damn, he's spoiling it, bro. What the fuck?
Oh shit!
Adam doesn't care.
It already aired though. The show is a spoiler.
Oh,
People should have. If they tune in and they didn't watch, they're gonna get pissed. And we had some before.
Someone needs to nuke your PC again, man. Because you're gonna spoil more shit.
I say right at the beginning that we're going to discuss spoilers.
Yeah, but not during Throwdown.
No, Throwdown isn't a fucking I Am Negan.
No, I'm just saying, people. There was a lot going on. It's worth watching. So,
they got nukes. Yo, by the way, Adam, that last episode you weren't on, we plugged it for you, man. Since you weren't here.
Man, we looking out, son.
There you go.
Yeah.
Thank you.
All right, I still can't say nothing, but watch out for your boy, man. I got some stuff coming for you this week, man. Both at PC Mag and over on Throwdown. So stay tuned, man. It's gonna be good stuff. All right, so that's going to do it for us, people. So make sure you follow us on Twitch and Twitter, subscribe on YouTube, and join the Discord. You definitely want to join that Discord, especially this week. It's going to get crazy. You know, you can find us on any podcast app by searching for Throwdown Show, and you can find us on any, throwdownshow.com, past episodes up to like episode 100, but no one's going to be listening to that shit. That's stuff from like 2016 or something, you know? And if you're watching us on YouTube and you enjoyed this episode, hit like, subscribe, and hit the bell to be notified when Throwdown goes live. We will have Throwdown episodes and Throwdown clips and other things. Links to everything down below. Once again, I was your host, Tony Polanco, and tonight I was joined by Emilio Lopez.
See you later, guys.
Chris Seeley.
Hey, take care, everyone.
Carlos Romero.
Peace out.
Adam Vale.
Have a good week.
Brett Murdoch.
Deuces.
And Brian Manjoma.
I wonder what game Sony is going to announce but never release.
Last Guardian 2.
Blades of Steel.
Wild.
Agent 2.
Tabletop tennis.
Oh, man.
There was one that came out. They had one for Switch. It was fucking cool.
All right, people. We'll see you on Thursday. E3 continues. Later.
Laters.
Peace.
Laters.